Hello everyone, this is Pulkit, and it's been a while since I created any video. I'm really sorry for that. I was running busy with the other schedule, but now I think I'm ready. So today we are going to be talking about the frameworks. So the question for you would be, how many of you have used the Cocoa Pods or the Carthage? I'd say everybody or 80% of the people are using that, because in our development cycle we keep relying on third party libraries. But have any of you ever given thought to create one of your own frameworks? No? Then no worries. Today we are gonna be talking about that, and I will be also demonstrating you how to create a sample framework. So let's try to build a framework that can help us to print the hello world. So to do that, let's get started. So here I am ready with the xcode. Let me go to create a new project. Now in this panel, most of the time we always select the iOS app, but now it's gonna be different. We are gonna be selecting the framework. So let me select framework and say next. I'm gonna name it Apple Talk project, but as this framework, let me just keep it simple framework. We also need to give a bundle identifier to the framework so that we can figure out this is uniqueness. Basically this is a required step from the Apple. We do not need include tests and include documentation, so we are going to be unchecking that, and I'm gonna say simple framework. Next, let me just try to create on desktop. Okay, so mostly everything is gonna be similar. You can see the xcode, you can see the project, you can see all the information, you can see the build settings, even package dependencies are similar. The difference is here you can see the target is framework. You can see there is only one target, which is framework, and here you can see there is nothing, because when you are working with framework, it does not give you app delegate, scene delegate. Nowadays also plista is not available, but that is fine. We do not need this because framework can always rely on application. So we just need to worry about what logic you want to put inside the framework. So first I'm gonna be doing some of the basic setups, like let's remove this mag target, also remove this mag target, and let's try to just slow down the deployment target to 15.0. okay, so we are set here. Now it can be confusing because we can see the framework and also the simulators are there. This is required if you want to debug the framework directly. Yes, that is also possible. You can just drag and drop this framework source code inside your project and you can directly debug it. But we are not going to be discussing that today, because today's video is exclusive on creating framework. So let's get started. Let's create one file that should be having logic to print commands. I'm going to say hello world. So we have created the file. Now we need to create a class. So I'm gonna say let's create public class hello world. Now the question comes, why the class is public? The reason is that as we are building the framework, this framework is gonna be outside of the target. Basically your host application is gonna consume the framework, and this class is outside of the target of your host application. So the class that needs to be accessed within the source code, but via the other targets, it has to be the public. Now again the question comes, why public, why not open? So basically public means all the functions and the class should be accessible outside the target. But now if you want to create any classes or the function that should be subclass or should be override, then you need to mention as open, but we are not going to be doing that, so public is fine. So first we need a function called init. what happened. Okay, but we do not need any parameters, so I'm gonna say the basic init with public. Now let me create a function. It's gonna be public only, so public function. I forgot to add the braces. Let's come back to our function. Public function print message. Let's also add some parameter message string, which should be string, and the function should be doing job of printing that message. So that's it. As far as everything looks good, let's try to build it. So I'm going to be selecting the simulator 14 Pro and let's say command plus B. It's building. Wow, that was pretty quick because we do not have anything available inside the framework. Now the question comes, how should you build the framework? So there are a variety of different policies that you need to apply. For example, if you want to build a framework that should be supported via simulator only, then you can select the simulator and build it. Now if you want to build a framework that should be compatible with the device, then you need to select the build device and frame it and create a framework. Now if you want to have a generic framework which should be compatible with devices as well as the simulator, then you need to build the universal framework. I'll be creating another video probably in next month on how to create a simulator in a generic way that it should be compatible with iPhone as well as the simulators. But for now, we are gonna stick with the simulator. So I guess we are ready with the framework. Let me just create a host application so that I can actually demonstrate how can we embed it. I'm gonna be saying sample POC and the bundle should be simple POC. Just make sure the bundle identifier of the host application and framework is not same. Otherwise, you may run into some of the issues. Okay, so my host is ready. I don't want to do anything here. I'm gonna just go back to my simulator. Again, I'm gonna clean it. I'm gonna press command plus B and we can say build succeed. But again, there is nothing on this left panel. So we are not sure where did the product gone, how I'm supposed to copy paste the framework. So you do not need to worry. You can go to the product and then you just need to select this option, show build folder in finder. In latest xcode, you are not gonna be seeing any product folder for the framework, but you need to go to the products menu and then you can select this option, show build folder in finder. So let's do it. I can see here something. Let's make it more visible. Here I can see this is my framework. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna minimize it, copy paste it to here. So now this is asking me if I want to check the copy items of needed. Yes, I need to do this. I need to select the group and then I need to add to target. I'm gonna say finish. So yes, we can see the similar framework that is built for the simulator. Let me just organize it a bit. No, I don't want to remove. Let me just organize it. Okay. Now one important step to be done. You just need to verify if the framework that you have recently added on the left side that is visible under these frameworks, libraries and the embedded content. If does, then you need to select this embed ensign. There is a reason to do that because if you will not do and if you use any images or third-party configuration inside your framework, then your host application will not be able to compile that and you may run into some of the issues. So guys, it looks like we have created the framework. So step 1 done. We have integrated the framework to the project. So the step 2 done. Now let's try to consume the framework. So first way to do is we're going to be importing that. I'm gonna be writing sample underscore framework. You can also see that on the suggestion box. So it's done. Let's just see if it is uh, properly compiling from the application or not. I'm building, selecting the simulator, and I have the success. Now let's create something like plate work equal to simple framework. Do you think this is gonna be work? No. Or we should be writing this hello world, because our class name was the hello world. So I'm gonna say class, or let's say instance. So this is my hello world instance of the hello world class that is available inside framework. Now let's say hello world instance dot print message. I'm gonna printing hi, this is Pulkit. Oops. Nice to see you. So let's see if this is gonna work or not. So our simulator has popped up. We're waiting for this to be executed. It should be there in a minute. Oh, I was thinking my Mac is pretty fast, but it looks like it's not the fastest machine alive. Haha, I'm just trying to give comments. Yes, the simulator is loaded now, and we will see this message any moment from now. Good guys, we just see it. So this was it. It was pretty simple. The building framework is not so much difficult, or I'd say it's pretty straightforward. Now if you want to convert this framework in your in CocoaPod or Carthage, and that is also possible. To do that, you just need to deploy your framework to the CocoaPods or a Carthage, and then register it with the required GitHub repo if you want to make it publicly available, or I'd say if you want to make it open source. But for now we are gonna be stopping it here, but I'm sure that I'll be creating more videos on the framework, so stay tuned and keep subscribing. Thank you so much guys.